Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm your host, Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. Tonight on episode 268. We're starting to count down now, or count up, whatever. We're reviewing There's Someone Inside Your House, streaming now on Netflix. Looking forward to this. Let me introduce the crew before we get started. Joining me tonight is my co-host, Jeff Mohr. Jeff, sir, how you doing?
Oh, no.
Can you hear me?
Oh, wow. Have I been punked, or is this something I don't know what's going on?
I can't hear. I couldn't hear you. It was digging out on me. Anyway, yeah, good to be here.
I was digging out on you. I kind of like that. All right. Also joining this week is the one and only Crystal Cleveland, the living dead girl. How you doing, Crystal?
I'm great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I don't know. I get so confused after going after Jeff. After I go after Jeff, I'm like, well, okay. I thought he was like pausing for dramatic effect, but apparently not.
No, he's just roping me. That's all it was. All right. Also rounding out the crew is the one and only Dave. Sure.
Hello. Oh, that was boy, talk about anticlimactic. Good Lord.
That's me all over. Oh, man.
Hey, Crystal, you got your pumpkin back there. It looks awesome. I love it back there. But you need to do it like with a Hellraiser and make the lights like the needles on Pinhead's face.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah,
okay,
do
maybe
it
I'll make
while
that
we're doing
one
the
this
show.
year.
I want it done by the time we're done.
Maybe I'll make a pinhead.
Well, you should go put stick light brights in there or something.
No, like what I could do is I'd go up inside of it. It would be simple to do, and you drill holes.
Yeah.
And stick them through. Yeah, that would be easy enough to do. I could totally do that.
I'm going to copyright it.
I kind of want a light bright pinhead. Somebody please do that as a cosplay.
Yep.
Oh my God, that would
be cool.
That would be awesome.
That would be.
All right.
Okay, look at that. Oh my God, we created wonderfulness right there. It happened.
I'm like Christopher.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right. Joining us we are so happy to have him guest host with us is the one and only award-winning filmmaker, Christopher G. Mohr.
No,
How you
we
doing,
got
sir?
him doing it.
I'm doing good. I'm wearing a 3D mask of my own face, so just for you guys.
That's why I didn't recognize you.
I know.
Like, who is this stranger?
Oh yeah, that's what we should have done. Like I'm actually Doc. Doc, you're Jeff. Mm-hmm. We're not who we're supposed to be. We're wearing the 3D faces.
Yes.
I'm not sure who you just insulted, but it's okay.
I was careful not to insult Crystal because I didn't want to,
One of these is not like the other, and it's going to be really weird, but that works. All right, what we're going to do tonight.
Oh, no.
I already took it too far. All right. What we're doing tonight is we're doing There's Someone Inside Your House. What we're going to do is give our first impressions. That will be spoiler-free. Then we're going to dive into the discussion, which will be spoilery. And we're going to wrap things up with our final thoughts, a score of 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. Before we do, though, we hope you enjoy not only this review, but many others we have on the site. And if you want to help us out, it's easy and free to do. Hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like button. That also helps. And, of course, share with a friend. Any of those things are free and easy to do. And, yay, they help. And, of course, most of all, we want to hear what you have to say. Share your comments down below. What film are we reviewing? Well, it is There's Something Inside Your House. It started streaming on Netflix beginning October 6, 2021, directed by Patrick Brice and written by Henry Gayden, based on a novel. Written by? Did I say that?
Written by.
Based on a novel by Stephanie Perkins, casted with Sidney Park, Theodore Pellerin, Ashton Cooper, Jesse Tourette, Dale Wilby, Diego Joseph, and Berkeley Duffield. The synopsis goes, a graduating class at Osborne High, Dave, Osborne High, really, is being targeted by a masked assailant, intent on exposing the darkest secret of each victim. And only a group of misfit outsiders can stop the killings. Dun, dun, dun.
Is that really true, though?
Rory Righty.
Roll, Scooby. All right, let's get into this. Our first impressions, and we're going to start off with the one and only Dave Dreher.
Ooh,
Dave,
I get to go first. Yay! I really liked the premise of the mask thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was really kind of cool, and that's kind of where my love for this movie ended, unfortunately.
Oh,
This was it was very screamish. It was very I know what you did last summer-ish. It was very Scream the TV show-ish. It was all those things, and unfortunately not better than any of them. Some of the gore effects were okay. I appreciated those. And like I said, I love the fact that he wore the mask of the person he was hunting. I thought that was kind of cool. But these people were all just horrible. These kids, and they're just horrible people. I would have killed them too. Fuck these people. I didn't like them. Yeah, I just didn't care for them. So I ended up just waiting for the next kill. Because I didn't really give a crap about the characters. So, but I mean, I guess for Halloween fare, for something to do when you got, an hour and a half to kill, you could do worse. But
yeah. If you're doing that 31 days, this is a good filler one, right?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay for that. But the whole thing, there's someone inside your house really doesn't. I mean, it's kind of like it's the poster version of clickbait because it really doesn't.
Did we get rickrolled by the title? That's all right. That's awesome.
Yeah, a little bit, and even by the poster in a way. So it showed a lot of promise, and unfortunately, at least for me, did not deliver.
Oh wow. Okay. Up next is Crystal Cleveland. What was your first impression of There's Someone Inside Your House?
So I liked it. I mean, okay. I'm not disagreeing with Dave though. I'm not disagreeing with Dave. I did really enjoy the mask. I thought it was very clever, and I thought. At the first kill when he's like, me? That made me chuckle. But I didn't mind. It does have a lot of plot holes, and it's not, the way the story wraps up, they were clearly trying to cobble it together. But I enjoyed it, though. I thought it was kind of fun. I enjoyed the kills. I thought some of them were creative. And, yeah, some of the kids are punks, but, I mean, obviously, the pain pill dude didn't deserve, I'm not gonna, there's some that didn't deserve necessarily what happened or whatever, or didn't happen, or maybe was going to happen or whatever. But I thought it was creative in some of the kills, and I liked the gore, and it felt fast. I didn't love the characters, but I didn't dislike them. I don't know. I just enjoyed it. Maybe I was just in a good mood, but I thought it was fun. Not great, but not bad. Like, okay. I would totally watch it again and not have a problem with it. Mm-hmm.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Up next is Christopher G. Mohr. Sir, what is your first impression of this fine film here?
You mean I Know What You Did Last
semester
school year? Yeah, I mean, I will say the one unique aspect of it that I do like that other people pointed out is the mask. Because we have a lot of these other like slasher type films where people wear a mask. You have the Scream mask and all that stuff. But to have like a killer like 3D print your face and you're being stalked by yourself, that's a pretty cool, interesting idea. But there's a lot. The filmmaking is good, the cinematography is good, but I just had problems with the characters. I heard like somebody reviewed it recently, talked about it's a big departure from the book, and but we have a lot of these sort of token type characters, and there's certain things they do that don't make a lot of sense, and it kind of irritated me a lot. The decisions that are made, where people are touching items that could incriminate them.
God,
but I was like, every time a person would touch it, I was like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And then there's other things that pop up that with our society, you have a whole group of kids. They're going to be taking pictures of it and posting about it and getting people in trouble, but they don't even delve into that. So there's things like that just made me mad. And then the ending is just, it feels like I don't know. It feels like a I don't even know how to describe it without giving anything away. But yeah, it just irritated me. It felt like it had some interesting ideas where like if somebody knew like these deep dark secrets and used them against you, but then it's like I feel like some secrets were bigger than others, and
For sure.
and some I can understand why, if you caused somebody to be hurt or dead or whatever. But on the other hand, it's like other things weren't as much. So I don't know. It's by the end of it, there's like a lot of. I mean, I guess the only positive thing is that by the end, when you find out who the killer is, that it kind of throws you a little bit. So that was a more interesting thing. But overall, I just thought it was like a cookie cutter characters that felt like fake high schoolers, which I hate in films. It's like I didn't really care as much because it felt fake. All the characters doing their things, it felt fake. Pouring one out of your monster while you're singing felt fake. I mean, things like that just irritated me. It felt like kids acting like they're high schoolers, but not being real high schoolers. So and if you can't make you care about the characters, then you don't really care, and then you're just looking like, when do we get the next kill with this big long ass knife? So yeah, I had a lot of problems with logic. The character work I think is not great. To where I wasn't. I couldn't watch this film again. I don't have any interest to watch this film again. It was good for one watch, and that I'm done. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of meh for me.
Meh. There's a meh in your house. All right, Jeff Mohr, sir. What was your first impression of There's Someone Inside Your House?
Well, before I say anything, it's probably obvious that this film is not intended for my demographic.
Yeah.
And
I know the feeling.
the book is, if you look up the book is a young adult book, so it's for that audience, right? And I'm kind of I like the idea of the mask too. I would have liked seeing more of the the 3D printer making masks. I thought that was cool. But none of the masks, I couldn't tell who they were. Somebody said, "Oh, it's his face." Okay. And that doesn't mean that they didn't look like him. It's just that when you have blank white over somebody else's face, I don't know. I didn't get the features. I didn't care for this too much. I mean, it's well made. I don't have any problems with any of the acting. I knew who it was really early on, and this isn't like I figured it out like a couple people from the end. This is like, I'll bet it's that guy. And then as the number dwindled,
Toward that girl.
Yeah, no, it was. I knew it was that. Oh, or that girl.
Too late now. Too late now.
Oh crap, Jeff. Anyway, yeah, I just didn't. It's not my thing. I'm not so it's definitely a slasher movie. I mean, we got like a bayonet kind of thing that the guy's using to off people. Although that's not the only way.
Is it a machete? I thought it was a machete. Am I wrong?
I think there's more than one weapon.
It's more like a Rambo knife.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought more like a Rambo knife. Yeah.
Because at one time it looked like he actually had a sword on his back.
He had a sword.
Well, he did have a sword.
Later, he has a sword, but
Later
most
he
of the
has a
time he
sword.
has a big
Oh,
long knife that nobody normally has.
It'd be like a deer carving knife, when you're gonna not carving,
Yeah.
but when you're skinning knife. I guess.
Maybe it is a hunting
Well,
knife.
anyway,
Arby darby dar.
it's just I just anyway. I don't need to run it down other than it was just really flat for me. I didn't care for it. We got these whole big backstories about their problems, and I still really didn't care about them. So maybe I don't know, hate teenagers or something.
I can relate to that.
Get off my yard.
Yes, I can relate to that.
Yeah. What do you think I live in the country for? Nobody
Yeah,
should know
no
that.
kidding. I think I'm with Crystal with this. I enjoyed it, and nobody's wrong here because it actually it isn't the greatest thing under the sun, but I relate to the kids a little bit more than you guys seem to be. Not that I thought they were wonderfully, crafted or drafted or anything like that, but it seemed like a likable bunch of misfits, like they said. It's the group of people that are they make that believable in my eyes at the beginning, because they bring the one in and she goes, I brought him in because you brought me in when I came here, and so it felt, if not believable, plausible. Another way I believe is I'm a sucker, but I liked our main character. I liked our lead here, Sydney Park, and I liked a few of the people that were hanging out with her, and some of them I didn't. Luckily, the ones I didn't like, either they got their comeuppance. We didn't have to deal with them long. Or if they didn't, well, there was another story there. We'll get to that later. There are elements I really liked. I liked, the kills were they were flashy, but not necessarily extraordinary. They did the trick with a little bit of, just enough crimson to make them fun to watch. And then if they couldn't do it, they did it, with an interesting shot, like at the end with the fire and the sword that we're talking about. There's something happens there that I really like. So yeah, I'm kind of like, it's kind of middling for me. It was fine, but I think the younger audience is going to appreciate this more, than an old geezer like me. So we'll go with that, if that works.
Look, it wasn't
Scream.
perfect. It wasn't perfect, but I don't know. I guess I just was able to just kind of just watch it and have fun with it. I guess I didn't take it that seriously for some reason. Sometimes I get really frustrated because, the movie, I do care more about the characters, but maybe that helped in this case. That I didn't care.
Well, I mean, nobody cared about the lead, at least.
No, I liked her.
I liked her.
Her. But, okay, let's be real. The worst thing they could have possibly done, and like I said, I still didn't care because I kind of like the fire, is drive into that cornfield, because you're going to run people over.
Oh,
so
yeah.
in
I was
addition
waiting
to
for that, actually.
Not only that,
yeah.
By the way, if you're listening,
there's no way that you know what's going to happen when you drive your car into an inferno. And let's take all four of us with us.
Yeah.
I know, nobody's going to get out. Well, the thing is that if they didn't, the people in there weren't going to get out anyway.
I guess so.
Yeah, so you're going to drive in there and kill yourself in the process.
So if you take out one or two and 5 of them get out, it's a win, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like
there was no win whatsoever.
That's some warp logic right there.
I don't
win?
I'm not
A win?
stating. I'm questioning. Is it a win?
So, yes, that bothered me. Yeah, and I
still liked it. I don't know. I just thought it was fun.
I liked her a lot. She was the actress Sydney Park has a real presence, and she's done a lot of stuff. So I think she had a part on The Walking Dead for a little while, and a lot of other stuff. She's got a lot of credits for somebody. I think she was like 24, 25. So, and Patrick Brice, I was kind of looking forward to this. He directed Creep, if I'm correct in that.
Creep 1 and 2.
So it just was. I just didn't dig the. I don't know. I don't think It's like Scream, and it's like, but it's not as good. So
exactly.
Agreed. I agreed.
It's a, and that's the sad part. I mean, I feel like these characters is 3D printed as the mask, to where it's like, oh, we need to have all these sort of different characters.
They're like stereotypes.
Yeah. Have like the trans character, have the gay character, have the black character, have the
modern.
Have that.
Club.
Yeah, but it's done. It's less personable, and I felt like they were just they felt like cookie cutter 2-dimensional characters that I didn't really care about, as opposed to other films like Scream, where you care about the characters when they get killed or whatever. And here they just feel like characters than characters. Even these other characters, whether it's the the girl that reads her little essay, on the trans girl, and then
Oh.
yeah, and then the even the football guy, like, let's pull one out. I mean, it's like, and he's singing.
Oh, that cracked me up though. See, it made me laugh.
That was painful. That was painful.
It was hard to watch. I was like, if this is,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was hilarious. I was laughing.
Me too. I was cracking up.
And then the one was like, "Well, his voice isn't that bad." Like,
yeah.
It is.
I was like, they
so
got
far.
me. They got me. Like, I mean, I guess I just wasn't taking it very seriously, and that's really. I think that if most people go into this movie and suspend reality a bit, exterminate all rational thought, naked lunch,
Well, you still have to have a brain going into it. I mean, it's like, I'm not asking for this to be Shakespeare, but I knew going into this is going to be a teen slasher, and that's what I was going to watch, and maybe have some humor. But to me, it fell flat. It had some cool visuals and stuff, but it just felt flat, and the ending just felt like a whole, I don't know.
Well, was it trying to be
social justice warrior sort of ending where it's like,
well, were they making the bad guy be what, white privilege is the bad guy?
Well, white privilege. It's like, privilege isn't bad. I'm like, oh my god, I feel like some extremely liberal person or whatever wrote the ending to this, and now that we're in Spoilerville, if your father has Nazi memorabilia and all the kids from the town are there and he's running for office, why is that shit not all over social media? You know what I mean? I don't. Yeah. That to me, that's a huge logic fail.
Because they were all turned into bongs.
Oh, somebody dies and it goes all over social media. This person took drugs or this person did that. But God forbid, the guy who has the hugest, most huge, like, Nazi memorabilia in his house,
and his dad doesn't notice that he's turned everything into
a bong. And I'm like, now we've just gone into like Parodyville, where this is not even a real. This is not even a real story.
I thought it was funny. I know.
I thought it was funny, but it's like,
this guy's turned into the guy from Cabin in the Woods now, where he's just making bongs out of, and then everybody's smoking out of Nazi memorabilia. And I was like, this has gone from like a fun kids slasher to like, I feel uncomfortable because they're smoking stuff out of Nazi stuff. So I don't know. There's so many weird things. Maybe it's because it's written by the guy who did Shazam. Maybe he injected that weirdness to it.
I felt like, obviously no one should have Nazi memorabilia, but I guess if you're going to get high.
Well, you can collect whatever, but, as long as you're not. But
what?
It's just no, I'm serious.
Yeah. It is history. If you're a historian, and it is history, but the way it was presented wasn't like that at all.
Oh,
it was presented like it was a
white supremacist.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, very much, very much.
I agree.
So to deface it by turning it into bongs was funny to me, because he would die. He would die if he knew, which is great.
But again, you have a whole bunch of kids who are on social media 24/7, and they're not going to take pictures of that.
Come on, who would not be taking photos of the gas mask and then blowing it out? It's so funny.
People were taking selfies
like,
there in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So to me, that just like, okay, I don't really. This film has gone off the rails. I don't know what the hell's happening here.
How sad and old and I am. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know.
It didn't even occur to me that they would be posting it on social media. But you're right. Now that you said it.
Yeah, I think to me that was the biggest logic thing, to where it's like, you saw how fast it went on social media, people posting stuff when somebody would die, and like that that just seemed like something is off here. So.
Well, there's I guess because I did realize that, but I didn't care. Because my first suspension of logic was, I don't know, when literally they text the entire freaking town all at once.
How do they text everybody? I get it, like a certain group.
You could do it, but it would just be very difficult. And I'm like, yeah.
It's white privilege.
I guess so.
That and it's so easy. You just go to sleep, and I'm gonna post pictures all over your house while you're sleeping. These people are some heavy sleepers in this.
They are. And where did they get all the pictures? Anyway,
I don't know.
I
There's
mean, at
just,
some
like,
point
so many
you just gotta
logic
kinda give up,
issues in
yeah.
this film.
Let's end on this note. We got to talk about the killer himself. Dave, you are the
So
slasher
quiet,
fan among us. I'm going to wake you up.
Yes.
Prod Dave, where does this slasher sit in slashers?
It's middle of the road. I mean, again, I don't want to talk bad about the gore effects are well done. I think. I don't think anybody would argue that. I mean, they're well there, but
The mask. Was
I
it enough?
mean-
Was it enough? Did you need more?
No, it wasn't.
no,
enough
no,
for
the
them.
mask is probably the best part of it. I mean, that's probably the coolest thing about the whole thing. It was the only original thing about the whole thing. Everything else was a ripoff of stuff we've seen before. But with that being said, the effects were serviceable. I mean, I think they were well done. But again, there was nothing groundbreaking. We didn't see anything we haven't seen 1,000 times before.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. And Dave, sir, since you have the floor, let us have it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've pretty well skewered this one. I think we're all actually, even the two of you that say you like it more than us, I think we're all kind of in the same camp here. This is just a retread. I'm not sure what they were trying to do with this. It really seems like somebody had this, the idea of like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if someone was getting killed by someone wearing a mask of their own face? And they're like, yeah, we should build a whole fucking movie around that. And they tried to, and it didn't work very well. It's okay. I mean, you're already playing your $15 for Netflix, so go ahead and watch it. It ain't gonna kill you. But it's nothing special. I'm gonna give it a 2.5, middle of the road.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nice. Favorite scene? Boy, it's kind of tough. I'm gonna go with, only because I thought it was a little bit original, but it's a scene when the one character comes out of the bathroom and all his pills have been scattered everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And then the lights go out and someone realizes there's somebody wearing the other guy's face, and everyone panics and runs around. I just thought that was kind of unique and different. It ultimately ended up paying off for anything, but it again showed a little bit of promise. If somebody had a little imagination, they could have done something with it.
Yeah.
But they didn't. But I'll go with that as my favorite scene.
Fair enough. I like that. All right, Crystal, you're up next. Final thoughts, score, favorite scene. Go.
So I don't think we are all that far off. I thought we might be, but yeah, I was going to give it a 2.75, so not that much better.
Yep.
But like I said, it's not the greatest, but yeah, and like Dave said, if you have Netflix, I mean, it's October, so give it a shot. Obviously, my favorite scene is the confessional kill. I guess it's a confessional.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought that was
really enjoyed
actually
that one.
inventively
Yeah,
staged.
I liked the whole scene actually. I liked the chase there, and that's why this movie was good enough for me. There was a lot of fun things, and like the scene Dave mentioned, and I think they had quite a bit of that, so that was enough to just make me enjoy it. I don't know.
No, that is a great scene. All right, Jeff, you're not next. Chris, what is your final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene?
I'm not going to use the excuse this is made for outside of my age group. I think it's just a badly formed film with characters of characters. This falls just as fake as somebody wearing a 3D printed mask of what these characters should be. It feels like somebody, like some young kid wrote it and based on the different liberal type characters or whatever you find in these. I don't know. It's just the film is annoying. It feels like the story was stabbed by the actual knife because there's
Nice.
Oh, he
Chris
froze.
Oh, no.
His feed's been hijacked by the director.
I
know,
guess someone
or
didn't
or
want
Stephanie.
Christopher.
Am I back?
Oh, you're
Yeah,
back.
there he is.
You're back.
Yeah, Stephanie Perkins, the writer. of the
Okay.
novel.
Oh, hurry up. There's lots of logic holes that could have been stabbed by this killer. I don't. I I've watched it, and I won't have, luckily I won't have to watch it again. I give it.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, oh.
Just
I give
do
it. I give it a 1.75.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I
That's
knew it.
actually better.
That's
Must
actually
have.
better, yeah.
Okay.
The kills are good. The mask is cool. Characters suck. And,
Okay.
and the lead actress, she should have stuck with Walking Dead.
Oh, ow. Ooh. Ouch.
But she's okay. I think the dialogue is probably what hurt her. The writer needs to stick with Shazam. As for favorite scene, I think Crystal stole mine. But if I were to pick an adjacent scene, I love the opening kill.
Oh, yeah.
When he
The
slits the
Achilles
guy's feet,
Tendons,
and then you have that beautiful overhead shot where the blood's like splattered on the floor. I love that shot. But I would have picked Crystal scene because I love that kill of how he presses her head against
Gets
the
the
knife that's
knife,
in the
yeah.
thigh. And by the way, if somebody has a big long knife and coming after you, don't hide in front of a slatted door,
I know.
dummy. It's another logic thing. I was shouting at these characters. This film. Yeah, go watch this film so you can
Shout.
Get
drink
angry.
every time that you have to shout at a character for doing stupid shit. Anyway, I'm done.
Hey, that might
Boom.
be a good drinking.
All right. We'll finally let Jeff out here. All right, Jeff. What was your final thoughts? Your scored favorite scene?
Well, I am going to say a little bit that it's not for my demographic. And actually, I'm going to ask, I'll ask my granddaughter what she thinks of it if she watches it. But I'm giving this a 2 because I just thought the story was lame. I mean, it's nothing against the actors or the rest of the people in the crew, but I just too much wrong with it and not enough good about it. Favorite scene, I was going to take the confessional thing, but instead I'll take the sword kill.
No, God damn you. Yes, that was awesome.
Well, the other thing I was going to mention was it was nice to have somebody actually talk about, here again, we had a cornfield and we see the fake fire and the fake cornfield. And, but there was a scene where they were in what looked like a real cornfield. And it is interesting when you're out in a cornfield, if there's a breeze, those leaves rubbing together sound
Like the
interesting. They had that scene where he said, I'm going to take you to the sea or to the ocean or
yeah.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is
Nice.
kind of a constant sound like that.
I never thought about
In a
that.
cornfield.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. I'm going to start off saying that I put this on the sunny side of 2.5. So take that for
Sunny
what
side.
it is. Yeah, not the darker side. Anyway, that fell. I
As opposed to overhard. Is that? No, I'm sorry.
Whoa. Whoa. Slow your roll, Jeff.
okay.
Too much coffee.
That's it, folks. See you. Good night. No, I enjoyed this film probably more than I should have given this conversation, but I had a good time with it. I was going to throw it right in the middle at 2.5. It was kind of like, I didn't have as much problem with the characters, and I don't know. I really wasn't bothered, which is all surprising because there's a movie that I watched the night before that really rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm kind of surprised this one didn't continue that trend.
We were the opposite on that.
I know. So I don't know. I had a good enough time, but I could easily go 2.75, Crystal, just so you know. I'm just going with what I originally thought, but yeah, it's if I could do 2.65 or something, never mind. It doesn't matter. I had a good time with it. I thought the lead was awesome. I liked the number of her friends. I liked the one character. Darby. I liked what they were doing there. I thought it was interesting. Thought she. I'm sorry, I fuck that up all the time, but I thought they handled it really well. And I don't know. I too saw the who did it. Actually, I was not the first in my household to figure that out, which is usually not the case. I'm usually the one screaming out the end and pissing everybody off in the room. But somebody else beat me to it, so I thought that was fun.
There you go.
So my favorite scene, I'm still going to take the cornfield, but I'm going to say screw you all. I'm taking the car driving through the fiery cornfield. I thought that was fun and stupid in a glorious way. And I was screaming the same thing. Why didn't you get out of the car? Only one person needs to drive this car in there. But, whatever, dumb kids. And in context of the movie, it was, it's like, of course, this is what happens. But I was literally waiting to crack up as some kid on fire bounced off the windshield as they were driving through the cornfield. I was kind of slightly disappointed they didn't do that, but whatever.
There was a piece of corn that flew, and I thought it was a limb for a second there.
Oh, that would have been awesome too, just a limb, face bonk. But there you go. That is our review of There's Someone Inside Your House. It is playing now on Netflix. Go check it out and let us know what you think. Especially if you think it's either far worse than we said or far better. But if you agree, we want to know that too. So just covering all my bases. I'm
curious, what the consensus is here.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's anything that's like that bad that people are just going to be like, it's garbage. I mean, I think there's a few redeeming things. Like they mentioned even, there's some stuff that's cool. I mean, I get it. Not like
Yeah, I just, it's one I could have missed, but I think other people could have fun with it.
I mean, it feels like one of those movies that came out in the 90s when Scream came out and everybody was trying to replicate
Copy
that.
it.
That's what it feels like. I mean, it's not the worst movie ever. I just had a lot of problems with the logic and the characters.
Yeah, technically it's very
cool.
It's very strong on technical side. I think the story and is what you're having the biggest
Technically, but again, you can have all the great visuals in the world, and if you don't do great work with your characters and dialogue or plot, it just everything goes up in flames like a cornfield.
Yep, it does, and you can drive your car through it. All right, Crystal, Jeff, Dave, and of course Christopher. Thank you all for joining me. This was a lot of fun. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's say good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.